Now, let me explain the point. Just ask me. Now, there are two objects. Now, let us say it is an account object. It is a contact object. In the account, we have name, phone, last name, first name, account, which is a lookup field. It's a lookup to account. So both of these are connected by lookup relation. The other side of the story, this is also an account. This is a customer object, or else let us say it is also contact. First name. Now we are assuming it is a custom lookup field. Now both these objects are connected by custom. The above one, both of them are connected by standard relation. Then, how do you refer to the childs? As you can do. Now, how both these objects are connected? By using standard lookup field, connected by standard lookup field. So I am going to say account dot contacts, because both of them are connected by standard relation. This is both of them are connected by custom field. So here I have to give account dot this will give you particular account with the corresponding list of contact. This will give you particular account record with the list of corresponding child payments. One account will have group of contacts. One account will have group of payment. Parent will have group of child. Parent will have group of child. Now the same thing I am referring from child. Now if contact want to refer to an account, one contact will have only one account. If contact want to refer to an account, then we are going to give account dot why? Name of the lookup field is account. So lookup field name dot parent field name. Lookup field name dot parent field name. So whereas here, what is the name of the lookup field? Company underscore R dot company underscore R dot. Why? This lookup field is a custom lookup field. If the lookup field is a custom lookup field, field name underscore R dot parent field. Field name underscore R dot parent field. It is a cross object formula. Do you remember? The same story here. Right, Amma? Fine? Okay. Are you clear? Child. This is what child is referring from parent. This is what parent is referring from. Sleeping. Now, what is the first point I gave? Account dot contacts. Account dot payments. This is what? Parent referring to child. I explain this for you only. Right, Amma? Right. Let us get into the next concept. So we have seen about page block table, data table we have seen. Let us move on to the data list, repeat. We will see what is a data list, what is a repeat. Now we are trying to understand data list and repeat. Let us get into the context. Page block table, data table, what is the difference you have found? Page block table, data table, what is the difference you have found? Both of them are same, both of them are used to display the data. Only the difference is the presentation format is different. When you go to the page block table, data is displayed using standard Salesforce look and feel. The way Salesforce was displaying list of records, exactly in the same way page block table was displaying the data. When you go to data table, now it displays the table but not with a standard look and feel. Whatever the look and feel we want, we are supposed to apply the properties and give it. I hope you are good with that, right? Apart from this, both of them are giving what? Same look and same concept. Display the list of record. How many records we can display? How many records? 1000 records we can display. I hope you are good with that. Right, Amma? Everybody is clear with the concept? Okay. Let us move on to the next one. Data list repeat. What is a data list? What is a repeat?
Paper.
So look into the context. Data list. I will combine both these concepts with the tab panel. Okay. Look at the context. Standard control equal to account. Records at var equal to apex tab panel, apex tab panel, switch type, client, apex tab, label. You can say label equal to page block table. I was giving page block title equal to so how you display page block table value equal to when I was giving column value equal to this is what I'm doing. Similarly, I have one more tab, data table, frame, border, cell padding, 10, rules. The next one, now this is the concept, data list instead of table list view. When you say it is a list, it will not have any columns. When you say it is a list, we will not have any columns. Why we will not have any columns? If it is a table, we will have a column. When it is not a table, we will not have any column. So in that case, what I am going to do? A dot Similarly, next one we had data list. Last one what we had is repeat. We had repeat. So have a preview. This is how we got the data. Page block table, list of records displayed, data table, we are getting the data list, list of records, repeat, all of them are printed in the sequence. Now you break them as per your choice. All of them are printed in the sequence, you break the data as per your requirement. Right? You want to make like a tree, you want to make like a hierarchy, you want to make like a table, it's all your choice. Repeat doesn't have any style. Data list have list of records. Data list have list of record. I can give something like this. Put some image before the icon and give it. Are you getting my point here? So what was this? Page block table, standard look and feel, data table. It is also a table, but we have to apply our own structure to get the data. We have to apply our own CSS to get the look and feel. Data list, list of records, repeat, sequential order of the data. But at the end of the game, if you look at the code, all of them are same, right? Value equal to list of record, var equal to a. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? People have followed this. Data list will give you list of records. If you want to display the data in the list form, we will go with the data list. Repeat is sequential order of printing data. Repeat means sequential order of printing the data. I hope everyone is good with this. So how many ways we can display? 4 ways. Page block table, data list, repeat. These are the 4 ways in which we can display the data. I hope everyone is good with that. Okay. Now, let us get into the next form. Right. Come again?
Can you just give the preview of this page?
list of records. Just take a list. It's not a table. These two are tables. It is a list of records. Whereas this sequential. Now, suppose I want to get like this. Let me give you a quick example. Let me give you a quick example. The last example of this topic. Let us look at this example, everyone. Parent child list V. As I have done all the examples on the standard objects, let me try to put some custom objects and elaborate. Student and a payment. Okay. Just trying to build some custom relation. All the examples, whatever you have done, is standard objects. Let us try to work with one custom object with the relation. Amount, mode, student. I'm just trying to create some custom objects and insert some data. Right. We had a payment with this object. Get into the story. Standard controller. Now I am going with Apex. Data table. We had this. So now I'm taking then we have frame. I'm taking apex column apex facet name equal to header, input checkbox, then I was going with apex column apex command link value equal to edit, action equal to URL for $action dot student dot edit, then similarly go back to this, delete, then what is the header value you have taken? Header value equal to, then I was giving apex column header value, account name, student name, apex command link. Command link can be an action. Command link can be an action. That can be a button, okay, method, or it can be a URL. So we had action equal to, how do you open a record? Slash. Then we had apex column value equal to a dot phone, apex column value equal to a dot. Now my next use case is, in the same row I want to print a list of all the payments also. In the same row I want to print a list of all the payments. Then how will you print list of all the payments? Look at the point. Apex column header value equal to, in one of the column I want to print all the payments. So what I can do here, apex data table, or I can apply repeat value equal to a dot payments underscore r var equal to one of the column. In one of the column I have taken repeat. Here I was taking table. So people know that tag of table, right? In the table we are going to have row, table, row. In the row we are taking td pay dot mode amount status. So in one of the column I was taking, I took a data table. In the data table we have a number of columns. In one of the column I was taking repeat. In one of the column I was taking repeat. Why I am taking repeat? One student has a group of payments. One student has a group of payments, so I have taken a repeat. So I got here online, cash. This is how I got it. Right. So student name. Then what is the value here? Phone. Go to the column. Header value. I give like this. Let us come back to the story. So look at this. Action, student name, phone, fee, and payments. Another payments. In the payments I am getting here, online, 12, status is approved. Are you getting my point? In one of the column I was trying to display all the list of the same. I will try to expand it. I will take one more column. In one more column, instead of table and all this stuff, I was taking Apex data table. The rule is equal to rows. So Apex column value equal to pay dot because it's a data table, you're going to have value equal to. I just want to say, in case if that column has a group of records that should be displayed, within the column I can take a repeat or a page block table or a data table and display the data. Okay. Mode. Because I gave rules equal to rows. If you remove that, right. You want to give a heading, you can give a heading. Are you getting my point here? Is that was clear for everyone? So, student along with the list of payment. One I printed with the repeat, another one I printed with the data table. If you go with a page block table, the entire structure will come. If you take a list-wise payments we receive. So, I'll give you the next example. So, you decide what you need. Data list. I was giving I have taken a data list. What was that? Mode payment dot NB. Right, Amma? Whichever you are feeling comfortable, you can choose that because the alignment will be difficult here. The alignment is difficult. Okay, list. I hope you are good with this format. Clear? right? So within a column, I can take a page block table, data table, repeat it, right? In any one of the column, right? As per your requirement. If you want to display them like a single structure. Down the line, we can also see how to form like a tree structure. Role hierarchy is there, right? VP, the tree structure also we can form. The tree structures also we can form it. Like parent record, list of child record, parent record, list of child record, parent record, list of child record. We can also do that. Right, Amma? Have you got the story? Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Okay. Now, if I want to achieve this type of structure, tell me how do you achieve? Let's say Wipro. Now, account name on the top. Try for achieving this example. Later, as an exercise, you can try it out. How to fetch this data public. Parent record should be coming like a section. Account name should come like a section. The child record should be displayed here. So check how we can achieve this. It is possible with the concepts what you have done. Account, list of contact. Account, list of contact. Account, list of contact. Try it out how to achieve this with the help of page block table and data table. Right, Emma? People are good with this example? Right. Try to achieve this example from your end. Let us move on to the next concept. Requirement is clear. Parent, okay. Account name should be on the header. List of contacts. Account name, list of contacts. Account name, list of contacts. Try to achieve this requirement. Then what are the topics that you have seen till today? Let us quickly look into the issue. So, if you are comfortable with this, we'll move to the next level. So we started with Apex page, section header. Then we have seen about page block, command button, page block button, Apex form. Then we have seen about section, input field, output field, inline 8. Then we have seen Apex facet, page block table, page block table. Then we have seen about tab panel, right? Then tab and tab panel we have seen. Then within that we have seen about data table, data list, repeat, and we have seen about what are the other things we have seen. Command link, then also we have seen about Apex column, we have seen about Apex column, Apex form. So these are the 20 components that we have seen from the day one. So what we have seen is Apex page, section header, page block, command button, okay, page block buttons, form, Apex page block section, input field, output field, output field, inline 8 support, Apex facet, page block table. Then we have got tab panel, data table, data list, repeat, command link, Apex column. Right above. Everyone is good with these concepts, right? Now let us move on to the next concept, how to create custom UI format. Now I want to design my own UI format. When you want to design your own UI format, still we have, okay, let me finish these two also. Still we have two more points here. One is, let's get the point. The one is how to get the detail page of a record, Apex detail. How to open a particular record detail page. How to open a related list. Now, how to open a particular detail page. How to open a related list. How to print the images. Let us look at this. Detail page of a record, related list, image. First one, what is this Apex detail? If I give ID of any account, if I give ID of any account, if I give ID of any account, how to open a detail page? Apex detail. If I give ID of the record, it is supposed to open detail page of the record. If I give ID of the record, it will print detail page of the record. So what I'm getting here? Apex detail, what is the ID of the record? If you give ID of the record, it is going to give you detail page of the record. Again I repeat, if I give you ID of the record, it is going to give you the data about the record. Now, if I want to open this particular page, ID of this record should be given as Apex detail. If I pass the Apex detail, if I pass the ID of the record, if I pass the ID of the record, I was able to see. Now, look at the point. Look at the point. If anybody is passing the parameter in the URL, listen to the context carefully. Visual Force. Apex. If I straight away give ID, will it work or not? I give Apex detail subject equal to ID of the record. Now, it is expecting a value. Okay, fine, no issue. Subject ID of the record. If I am giving ID of the record, if I give expression this, it is going to give this value. Preview, the corresponding record, preview, we got it here. Right? If I give ID of the record, subject if I give, we are going to get it. No boss, I want to refer to one of the record. I want to refer to one of the record based on the UI, based on the URL. How do you take it? Dollar, listen to the point. Current page dot we can use this expression. This is reading the data from the current page. Now, if I give standard controller, listen to the context. First of all, why do you take dollar? If you are referring to any global data, we always try to refer with dollar. If you are referring to the global data, always we try to refer with the dollar. So when you are referring to the dollar, what we have? Dollar current page. Whichever the page we are referring in the current page, in the URL, I am passing some parameter. How do you pass? /apex/page name question mark, ID equal to, we have done example, right? When you're looking at the output field, how did you pass the parameter? How did you pass the parameter? Slash apex page slash page name question mark. We are giving some ID. Now, if you want to read the parameters from the URL, so we are giving dollar current page dot parameters dot parameter name. This will give you data what we are passing in the URL. So let me give you here current page dot parameters dot ID. So what I'm doing, go to the preview, listen to the context, listen to the context. Have a preview. There was my record. ID equal to ID. Look at the bottom. At the bottom, you are able to see the ID of the record. You are able to see the ID of the record. Now, why did I mention this? Boss, here I gave information like this. I don't want to take the information like this. I want to read the ID of the record from the URL. Whichever the ID of the record is there, that record data I want to fetch it. So, what I want to give? I want to open a record. So, how do you give it? Look at the point. Apex, detail, subject equal to dollar, current page dot, parameters dot, some ID I am passing on the URL, slash. Now, go to the page, preview. In the URL I am giving now, whichever the ID I was passing in the URL, that particular record is open. Are you getting my point? In the previous example, straight away pasted the ID, subject equal ID. Now, whichever the record I am passing as a parameter, that particular record I want to open. Whichever the record I am passing as a parameter, that particular page I want to pass it. Now, look at the point. Whichever the record ID I am passing in the URL, that particular record I want to open it. Whichever the record I am passing as a parameter, that I want to open it. Now, where I can use this? Come back to our previous example. Now we gave. Look at the point. When you click on ID, where was the data? Edit, delete. When you click on the name, what are we getting here? Slash a.id, right? Slash a.id. Here I am giving, what is the name of the page? Apex slash apex slash my now what does it mean? When I click on the account name, open the detail page. When I click on the account name, when I click on it, what I am asking to open? Slash apex slash page name question mark my ID equal to a.id. Whichever the record I clicked, open the detail page of that record. Look at the preview now. Look at this. Prasad. What happened? Prasad detail page. Are you getting my point? Whichever the record I am clicking, open the detail page. Now you can ask me, boss, if you give record salesforce.com/record ID, same page is opening, no? Right? You can say simply give salesforce.com/record ID. Why are you defining one more page called apex detail? Now we have a choice here. Here, when you open a standard page, we are getting the related list also, nodes, payments, everything. But here, I don't want to have all these things. What I will do? Apex related list equal to false. Now go back to the page again. List of records. Satish. I can manage it. Okay. Now out of this, there are 10 related lists. Out of 10 related lists, I want to open only one particular related list. Are you getting my point? Now here I can manage what all the related lists I can have. When I use apex detail, they are giving a choice for you. You want the record along with the details, or you want only the record, or else we can also give here. Look at the point. Related HR equal to true. What is that related HR equal to true? Come back to the story. Now, come back to the story. First, I have to give related list equal to true. Now, there is nothing displayed on the top, nothing displayed at the bottom. Now, I am giving a related list equal to true. Go back to the record. Click on this. Now, whatever the related list we are getting here, on the top we are getting now. This is called related list HR. Why? If you go to any particular account record, there are so many related lists we have. Come down here. Now we have so many related lists here. I don't want to scroll down. I just want to control from the top. Now there are 100 fields. There are 10 related lists. I don't want to scroll down and see. So what happened? On the top, if you give me whichever the data I want, I can search out from here. This is called related list HR. Whatever the related list you are showing at the bottom, same show me on the top like a links. This is called related list HR. Now you have a choice to display related list or hide the related list, to display related list HRs, to display the related list HRs or avoid it. This customization we can do it. So basically, what is the purpose of related list? Basically, what is the purpose of related list? Okay, what is the purpose of apex detail? Whichever the ID you are passing, that record detail page will be open. Whichever the record you are passing, that record detail page will be displayed. I hope you are good with this example. You are good with this example? Am I clear with this? Right. So what is the purpose of apex detail? I will show all the 3 points here. The practical purpose of usage will be very less. Practically, we don't use this. Okay. As is a component available, we are just covering it. Practical usage will not be there. Now, apex detail. What it does? Open the detail page of the along with so what are the other things we have seen? Attributes, first one, subject. ID of the record which we want to. Now, examples you can give. Subject equal to. Or else subject equal to. Suppose if you have taken a standard controller, account dot, or else if I am taking a contact record, subject equal to lookup field, account dot, I have taken a contact dot. Now contact account, contact as a lookup to account. In the lookup field, what will be there? ID only will be there, right? Now, if two objects are connected by lookup, if I use a lookup field, what will be there? ID only will be there. So, in the contact object, I have a field called account, which is a lookup. So, if I say contact dot account ID, contacts, parent, account data will be opened here. If you want to take for the global data, subject equal to dollar current page dot this is for reading the data from URL. These are the possibilities in which we can define it. And set as true. Corresponding related list. So next we have related list H1. H1 is displayed on the top of the page. Right. The next one, rendered. We already know what is it rendered. I hope not displayed. Right. Rendered already we know what is that rendered. What is it? Display or. But here the point is how to read the data. We'll take one more context and display the data. This is also brilliant. Now, once again, let me explain the points here. One more. Listen to the context carefully. Apex. Listen to the context. Here I am taking standard control equal to contact. Standard control equal to contact. Now I give apex detail subject equal to contact dot field. Generally what we do, contact dot last name, contact dot first name. Now one of the field is account. One of the field is account. I told you in the beginning itself, if the field is a lookup field, we are supposed to append ID. In the starting of the field discussion, I told you, if the field is a lookup field, if it is a lookup field and it is a standard field, we are supposed to add ID after the field. So apex details contact dot account ID. What is the contact dot account ID? Go to any one of the contact, take this ID. Who is the parent of this contact? Textile Corporation. Go back here. Go for a preview. Then in the URL I am giving ID equal to. Now contact record ID I give. When I give the ID of the contact, what it is opening? When I give ID of the contact, that contact's account data is displayed. When I give ID of the contact, the contact's account data is displayed, because I told detail equal to account dot, detail equal to contact dot account ID. Detail equal to contact dot account ID. Is that was clear? First point. Second one, from the URL, I want to take it. Apex detail. Now, how do you display the data from the URL? Name, dollar, front page dot. Four, front page dot. Now, from the current page, how to read the parameters? How to read the parameters? Go to the current page. In the current page, I am giving how to read the data from the URL. So how I am reading? How the values are read here? Current page dot parameters dot parameter name. Parameter name is what we are supposed to do. In the URL of the page, we need to pass values of name and slash apex detail question mark name equal to Satish. This is how we are passing. The same thing if you pass ID of the record. The same thing I can pass the ID of the record, right? So how do you pass ID of the record? Apex detail subject equal to current page parameters dot record ID. So you are passing a parameter called record ID. Now you are passing a parameter called record ID. Apex detail subject current page dot parameters dot record ID. So when you go to current page, meanwhile get me some record ID. Page is displayed. Go back here. Open the particular page. The URL I'm giving name Satish. Record ID. I give record ID. Whichever the record ID I gave, that particular record detail page is open. Right, Abba? These are the 2 points what I was trying to convey. Is that was clear? So you pass the ID through whatever the means you want. You give a fixed ID, or you give the ID of a particular record, or you pass the ID through the URL. So finally, if you pass the ID as a subject, that particular record detail page will be open. Whichever the record ID we are giving as a subject, that particular record will be opened in the detailed format. I hope you are good. Is that was clear for everyone? Right? That's why the same concept I applied here. I have designed a Visual Force page which will open a detail page. So what did I do in this context? What did I do in this context? When you click on the account name, I ask you to open a Visual Force page. When you click on a name, I ask you to open a Visual Force page. What that Visual Force page is giving, whichever the ID you are passing in the URL, that record is opening. The record detail page is open. I hope you are good with this. Followed or not? Now, whichever the record you are clicking, that record detail page will be opened here. I just connected that page with the data table. Right, Amma? Basically, what is the purpose of Apex detail? It will open detail page of a record. Right? Is that was clear? Okay. Now, next one, we had one more concept. Related list. What was the next element we had? Related list. Again, I am making clear. Practical usage will not be there. But as a part of component available, we are just discussing it. Practically, we don't use this element in our real-time examples. Okay. Now, what is the related list? I don't want to display record data. I want to display record data with the corresponding related list. Only related list I want. Only a related list I want. What I want? Only a related list I want. Look at the point. Only the related list I want. So look at this standard controller. Try to understand this concept of effects. This concept is, we already done this in the detail, in the apex detail, what happened? All the related lists are coming or none of them are coming. Either I can show all the related lists or I can hide all of them. No, I want to display only few of them. When I say apex detail, all the related lists will be displayed or none of them will be displayed. No, I want to display only few of them. Then I can use this concept. Let me give you. Now, in this concept, you have any question? Let me know. Now, this is what I get. Any query in this page? Look at that page. Are you finding any difficulty in this page? The same old concept, right? What is that? If I have an account, how to display a record? If I have an account, how to display a record? Output field value equal to account dot name. Output field value equal to account dot rating. Same, right? Am I right? Now, if I want to run this page, what should I do? I have to pass ID of the record. If I want to open this, I have to pass ID of the record. I have to pass ID of the record. So look at this. Go to this, run the page. In the URL, I am getting the data. Now, along with this data, I want the corresponding child contacts. Along with this data, I want to get the corresponding child contacts. Now, along with this data, I want to get the corresponding opportunities. Then what I will do? Look at the point. Here I was giving apex related list equal to contacts. List equal to contacts. Because it's output field only, we don't require a form also. I can remove the form directly. So go back to this, have a preview. Now account with the list of, it is not giving all the contacts. Only in the detail page, whatever the related list is there, that will be shown. 3 contacts or 10 contacts, it is showing here. And now how did he give it? Apex related list. Apex. So this is basically used for what? Displaying corresponding child records. The related list which is available. Corresponding related list. It is not showing all the records among. How the related list is displayed, the same format it will display. Are you getting? When I go to data table, page block table, I can display whatever the fields I need. Here we are only getting the way related list is displayed, the same structure we are getting. Are you getting my point? If you want to display only related list of a particular record, we will use apex related list equal to corresponding child object. Detail means parent record with the corresponding list of all the child records. I don't want to display all the related list. I want to display only a few of them. Then what I will do? Apex detail. Then the case what I can do? See, I can bypass this system now. I can bypass this system and I can give apex detail subject equal to related list equal to false. Don't display related list. Go back to this. What is that? We are getting account record and we are getting only contacts and opportunities. Previously what happened? Suppose if I don't use this. Look at the point. If I don't use this, related list equal to false. Only we are getting account record, no related list. If I say related list equal to true, then what happened? Contacts, opportunities, cases, open activities, history, notes, everything we are getting. Now I want a detailed page, but I don't want all the related list, but a few of the related list I want to display it. I want the detailed page, but I don't want all the related list. Only few of them I want to display it. In that case, we will take this combination. Apex detail will give you detailed page of the record. Apex related list will give you related list what you are giving. Don't display all the related list. False. Don't display all the related list. But here I am giving, show me a related list of contacts. Show me a related list of opportunities. I hope the purpose is clear for everyone. We don't want all the related list. Only a few related list of a particular record we want. Then I use this concept. Apex detail. I want the record detail page, but I don't want all the related list. I want only few related list. Then I'll take account, contacts, opportunities, cases. Remaining are not displayed. I hope you are good with this. You want to design a custom page where the related list should be displayed with the record. The record with the related list should be displayed. But I don't want all the related list. Only few related list I require. Then I'll take this combination. Right? Now you can say. Now come back to the page. Now when you say here data list, repeat. If I give a dot, here was the page number. What is the name I give? Okay. There I gave detail page, right? When I say salesforce.com/id, salesforce.com/record ID, if I give, it will open the detail page with all the related list. Now I don't want detail page with all the related list. I want the detail page, but only few related list. In that case, I will design my own custom VF page and say Apex detail, open the detail page. Related list equal to false. Don't show me any one of your related list. Then Apex related list, I am giving my own related list which should be displayed. I hope you are good with this. When I give salesforce.com/record ID, detail page with all the related list will come. Now what is my requirement? Don't open the detail page with all the related list. Open the detail page with only few related list. That is the reason I am going for a custom VF page. When I say Apex detail, complete record will come. A related list equal to false. Hide them. Whatever the related list you want to display, give Apex related list equal to corresponding child object. I hope you got my point. Right, Amma? Clear for everyone? Followed? Okay. So what is the purpose of this related list? Pick attributes. Now, we have list and we have page size. Now we have list. When I say list, what happened? Which child records you want to display? Which related records you want to display? Now suppose in the related list there are 50 child records. Out of 50 child records, how many you want to display? How many you want to display? By default, 5. Now when you are displaying for a parent, I have 40 child records. One account, 40 opportunities. Do you want to show all the 40 opportunities? No, I don't want to show. I want to show only first 5. Then I will say page number equal to 5. Next, I don't want to give child contacts or something. If I give parent record, automatically corresponding child should be fetched. Then I can give ID of the parent record. ID of the parent record. Are you getting my point here? So come back to the story. I hope everyone has followed this example. Right? Purpose is clear for everyone. Whenever we give salesforce.com/record ID, detailed page with all the related list will come. I want detailed page with my own related list, only few of the related list. Then I take the combination of Apex detail with the related list. Right. What are the attributes we have? Now, list. What was that? See, it will give the name of the child object. We had to specify how many child records. And one more point, Amma. Here one more point. When you say salesforce.com/record ID, it will not display all the child records. Only 5 records will be displayed. You want to display all the child records? Again, you have to come back to related list. So, I'll once again I'll explain the point why we are going for this. Once we are done with this, I'll share the documentation for you. Look at the point. This is the record ID. If I am passing the record ID, salesforce.com/. If I open salesforce.com/record ID, we are getting the detailed page of the record with the corresponding. Now here what I am doing, now we had a list of child records. When I say salesforce.com, it is showing the list of record. Now look at this. How many are shown here? How many are shown? 5. So if you are opening with a salesforce.com/record ID, a related list will be displayed with the default size of 5 child records. With the default size of 5 child records. Now you cannot increase. There is a standard functionality of Salesforce. But what is my requirement? I want the detailed page should be opened with all the child records in the page. Now contacts, 10 contacts are there, display all the 10 contacts. Then what should I do? Standard functionality will not work for me. Then I'll go with Apex detail, related list, page size equal to 10, page size equal to 20. If you go with the standard functionality, now default size of the page is 5. It will display parent record with all the related list. Look at this, all we are getting. partners, nodes, activity, open, case, but you may or may not be interested to show all this data. You may or may not be interested to show all this data. You want to show only specific child records of this parent. Then I will go with Apex detail with related list concept. I hope you are good. People are good with this. Followed up? That's all from my end for the day. We'll continue tomorrow.